Most people are taught that discipline requires white-knuckling your way through a hard task through sheer mental force. You watch a video to get pumped up, feel a surge of energy, and you start. But research shows willpower behaves like a limited resource within a single day. Every uncomfortable task draws from the same shrinking pool. By the time you reach the task you've avoided all week, your reserve is already spent. There is a completely different design philosophy. If we look at declassified interrogation resistance manuals from this former intelligence agency, the approach to human behavior under stress was never about inspiration. The training relied on a cold structural method that does not care whether you feel like doing a task or not. Nobody in a hostile interrogation room is waiting to feel motivated before protecting the information in their head. The psychological preparation was built around conditioned response under stress. They trained operatives to make specific behavior automatic enough that their internal emotional state simply stopped being relevant to the outcome. This chart breaks down the distinction. The standard approach depends on feeling ready before acting, leading straight to burnout. The intelligence method bypasses feelings entirely. It replaces motivation with a rigid sequence that triggers automatic action, guaranteeing a result. To translate this into your own life, you need to build this structure. Pause this video right now, grab a pen and a piece of paper, and write 7-day protocol at the top. We are going to build your system together, step by step. By the time this video is over, you will have a physical 5-part architecture mapped out in front of you. This system removes the dependency on how you feel, meaning you will take action whether you are rested, exhausted, or completely unmotivated. Step 1 is the anchor sequence, your entire focus for day 1. It is a fixed physical and mental routine performed identically every single time, regardless of your mood. It signals to your nervous system that action begins right now. On your paper, write down your specific sequence. It could be standing up, taking 3 slow breaths, and saying the phrase, "Begin now." The only strict rule is that the entire routine must take less than 90 seconds. Now we add step 2, introduced on day 2. This is controlled discomfort exposure. Write down one safe, mild discomfort you will face once a day. This could be a short cold shower or holding an uncomfortable physical position. Decide exactly what it will be and commit to completing it fully without negotiating with yourself halfway through. The purpose here has nothing to do with physical endurance. Operatives were not taught to enjoy discomfort. They were taught that discomfort does not get to make decisions for them. You are training the mind to stop negotiating for an early exit. When you combine a rigid entry sequence with ignoring discomfort, you effectively collapse the 30-second window where discipline dies. You move into action before your mind organizes an argument against it. This brings us to step 3, the focus for day 3, the isolation reset. On your paper, schedule a rigid 10-minute block of absolute zero input. No phone, no music, no conversation, no reading. Just you sitting with your own thoughts. Write down the exact time of day this will happen. Modern life trains us to fill every quiet moment with constant stimulation, making the feeling of silence itself a severe pressure point. If you cannot sit with your own mind for 10 minutes, you will automatically reach for a distraction the moment a task gets boring. Practicing this isolation restores your baseline ability to sit quietly and focus. Step 4 is introduced on day 4. This is the commitment script. Write down a short, fixed phrase that you decide on in advance. Something direct, like "the decision was already made." You will use this exact phrase the moment you notice internal resistance rising, blocking the urge to generate excuses. The isolation reset removes your dependency on constant stimulation, and the commitment script blocks your internal excuses. Together, they form a defense system. When a task gets difficult, your automatic reflex becomes executing a scripted response instead of grabbing your phone. Now we finalize the system with step 5, which you add on day 5, the Daily Debrief. Under step 5, draw a simple nightly checklist. The strict rule here is that you only record operational facts. Did you complete the sequence? Did you do the isolation period? You write down exactly what you did, without any notes on how hard it was or how you felt about it. This chart shows exactly how to deploy the protocol. Do not try to do everything on Monday. On day 1, you only execute the anchor sequence. You layer one new step daily. By day 7, all 5 components run simultaneously. If you miss a day, do not double your exposure to compensate. You simply perform the sequence the next time the opportunity appears, exactly as if nothing happened. By tracking cold facts instead of your feelings, and treating a missed day as just a data point rather than a moral failure, you build an honest record of your behavior. You stop telling yourself a story about being undisciplined and start building undeniable, evidence-based trust in yourself. Look at the paper in front of you. You now have a complete physical roadmap for the next week. You are no longer relying on abstract motivation to get things done. Tomorrow morning, the moment you wake up, you do not need to feel inspired. Before you check your phone, you only need to physically execute your 90-second anchor sequence. I want you to look at your completed list right now. Go down to the comments and tell me which of these 5 steps you already know is going to be the hardest for you to stick to. Naming the friction point before you start is part of the method. 7 days is enough to prove the system works, but keeping it running past day 7 requires maintenance. For those who want to compress all 5 components into an automated 5-minute daily practice, I built the KMA method. You can scan the code on screen to lock in this structure indefinitely, without relying on your memory. Long-term behavioral change does not come from a sudden personality transformation or a perfectly curated morning routine. It comes from structural architecture, applied with brutal, boring consistency. You have the blueprint. Begin the sequence.